Yeah, thank you. My name is Erle Bårdsdatter Sæter. I'm a board member of Oslo Noereh, which is the local group for Noereh, the Sami Youth Organization, and I'm here to talk a bit about how climate change is actually affecting people today, more particularly the Indigenous people of Norway, the Sami people, and what we have to remember when we're trying to solve the climate crisis. So first here, this is a Norwegian report from 2018 that looked at how Sami culture adapts to climate change and how Sami culture is vulnerable to climate change. The report showed that Norwegian Sami experience that climate change changes their ability to follow traditional ways of living and the use of natural resources such as reindeer herding. In this way, climate change is a possible threat to traditional Sami culture. And the impact on reindeer herding is well documented, but it's less known how climate change will affect other parts of traditional Sami culture. But the report shows, for instance, that the largest increase in average temperature rising will likely happen in central Finnmark, which is a Sami core area, and here the temperature could increase up to by 11 degrees. And here, according to the Sami Parliament, climate change and interventions in reindeer herding areas are the greatest challenges for the future of reindeer herding. And the Sami Parliament emphasizes that reindeer herders have always adapted to changes in season and changes in climate. And this is made possible by traditional knowledge and the ability to adapt to various weather conditions. And the Sami Parliament states that the best strategy for the reindeer herders to adapt to climate change would be to protect the herding areas and to include traditional Sami knowledge in the management. And like the report, we get news articles like this. It says that Finnmark will get greater climate change than any other part in Norway, according to recent research, and that Sami reindeer herders have already registered weather changes. And one of the changes they've noticed is that layers and layers of tightly packed snow and ice is making it unable for the reindeers to find food. And now the reindeer herders have this crisis funds, but soon they've already used up all the funds and making it difficult to find money to cover the rising food expenses. And another effect we see is the invasion of larvae, because they destroy the forests in northern both Norway and Sweden and Finland. And first they eat the birch woods, and now they're also starting to eat other plants, and this could lead to dramatic consequences according to researchers. It could be severe for the ecosystems in this area, and of course the ecosystem is important for the reindeers. So what are the solutions we are presented? First, we have the development of wind power, which is a sustainable energy source. But the problem is that the wind power or the wind turbines are built on the feeding grounds for reindeer herds. And this is something we see in Fosen, in Sør-Trøndelag, among other places. And this is in a South Sami area, and the South Sami language is severely threatened. And the reindeer husbandry is one of the areas where you get to use the language, the South Sami language, is important for the culture. So when you're threatening the reindeer husbandry in this area, you're also threatening the South Sami language and the whole of the South Sami culture. And another problem is the proposed mining in Kvalsund and the dumping of mine waste in Repparfjord. One of the arguments pro this mine is that the copper that they find in mines are used to transport electricity, and it's used in electric cars. And that way it's green, it's part of the future. But the problem with the mine is that it's in a reindeer calving area. It is an area important for the reindeer herds in the area. And the mining waste, it's full of toxic waste. So when you dump it in the fjord, it affects the lives in the fjord. And this is a national salmon fjord, and it's important for the Sami and Norwegian fishermen in the area. And according to reindeer herders, the consequences of mining in Kvalsund will be fatal for the reindeer industry, and the Sami parliament has opposed the decision. So, how do we solve climate crisis from an indigenous perspective? Well, first, we don't see these projects that I've presented as solutions. We just see them as another way for our culture to be destroyed. And if you want to solve climate crisis, you have to work with the indigenous people, not against it. The indigenous way of thinking is that we don't have right to control the earth and the nature. We have to adapt to it and work with it. So my advice to you is to be critical of what you're told. Not every green project is a project for the future. And my advice to the businesses is to not be part of projects that destroys indigenous land. And this extends beyond Norwegian borders. Look at the projects you have abroad, and look at the companies you're cooperating with. If they don't listen to the indigenous people in the area, they're not working for the environment, and they're not working for the future. Indigenous knowledge must be a part, or it must be the center of the climate action discussions. So we've been here for years, and we're part of the future, so please don't destroy us before we get there. Thank you.